All right, so Marco Rubio, he had the smoothest confirmation out of all of Trump's cabinet picks, and he sailed through it a historic 99-0 Senate vote to become Trump's Secretary of State. That's how desperate everyone was for what at least was a semi-normal pick. Now, Democrats took a gamble on him, either influencing Trump's foreign policy or just blindly following orders. But so far, it's looking like the latter. Since the first day in the Senate, Rubio has been a loud advocate against Russia's annexation of Ukrainian territory. In fact, here he is back in 2014. Watch.
You basically have Russia that has decided that we don't like the way things are going in Ukraine, and so we're going to invade. We're going to take over a territory. And think about how they did it. They deny that they're doing it. They send Russian troops into Crimea, but they had them wear uniforms that had no markings on them. In fact, the press would ask these soldiers, where are you from? They wouldn't answer. They invaded a country, but they lied about their invasion.
And, of course, he's no stranger to taking shots at Russian President Vladimir Putin. In fact, back in 2015, he straight up called him a gangster and a thug. Another standout moment when Rubio grilled former Secretary of State Rex Tillerson in 2017 during his confirmation hearing over his ties to Russia.
Is Vladimir Putin a war criminal?
I would not use that term.
It should not be hard to say that Vladimir Putin's military has conducted war crimes in Aleppo, and I find it discouraging, your inability to cite that, which I think is globally accepted.
Now, you'd think that Rubio would have a lot to say over the last few weeks, especially during Trump's tense Oval Office meeting with Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky. Instead, we got this pure disassociation from Rubio. He looked like he was trying to render himself completely invisible, melting away into the couch while everyone else talked. Rubio reportedly isn't just out of the loop when it comes to Ukraine. He's also been sidelined when it comes to Trump's foreign policy in the Middle East. He notably tried to take over the Panama Canal while Trump's actual foreign policy guy, real estate investor turned U.S. Special Envoy Steve Witkoff, has been making real moves. Witkoff has been the one inside Gaza. He confirmed that the U.S. is in talks with Hamas, and now he's jumping into negotiations with Ukraine. Again, edging out the so-called Secretary of State, Marco Rubio. On with me now, my panel for the hour, Versha Sharma, editor-in-chief of Teen Vogue, Hayes Brown, MSNBC daily writer and editor, and V. Spear, host and creator of Under the Desk News. So, Hayes, what a week it's been for Marco Rubio.
Not a great week.
Not a great week, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Marco Rubio, you mentioned the 99-0 Senate vote. That feels like the sort of genteel, sort of like we're all buddies here thing that the Senate has been known for.
Yeah,
back in the day, like that when a senator is nominated to become a cabinet official, unless they have just been wildly outside the norm, that's usually a courtesy of the Senate to be like, we trust you, buddy. You've been here. We get you. You've got this. But now that Rubio is in office at Foggy Bottom, he really has been sidelined, like you've said. He has not been looked at as the chief diplomat to the United States. He's just been kind of there. He's been making trips. He went to Panama, like you mentioned, and he has not been doing much that we've been able to see to influence U.S. foreign policy, though he has been getting more vocal behind closed doors, reports have been saying, especially with regard to Elon Musk's cutting. That, I think, is one of the most fascinating things he went through this week.
Let me actually play for you all this clip from Saturday Night Live. It actually perfectly portrayed the kind of Zelensky meeting with Trump. Watch this.
Oh, man, look at Rubio over there fully dissociating. He looks like Homer Simpson disappearing into that hedge. To quote the late, good Tom Petty, he's free falling.
V, your thoughts on Marco Rubio and how quickly this position, this one-time powerful position of great American diplomats, when you think about them, the James Bakers of the world, the Madeleine Albrights, even if you don't like them or not, Condoleezza Rices of the world, people who had stature on the world stage, and now Marco Rubio.
I mean, I think he should have probably seen this coming. In Trump's first term and for a very long time, he would call him Little Marco.
Right.
And Marco Rubio has, in fact, gotten a little part when it comes to Trump's State Department. When you sell your soul at the temple of MAGA, you're not going to advance your place in the movement the way that you think you would, especially with all of Trump's special envoys and special investors. And the fact that Trump has made very clear that the people he's out to serve right now are not the American people or to promote his cabinet, but rather him and his billionaire buddies. So I think Marco made a big mistake here trusting Trump. I think that we all really hoped that he would have that kind of relationship to be able to hold things together behind the scenes, kind of try to like Trump-proof the State Department, but it's clear that he's diminished his role.
It's clear like the Democrats wanted to have at least an adult in the room, and they figured, hey, you know what, he's a senator, he'll at least be the adult in that kind of foreign policy decision-making room, and that has not been the case. And we certainly saw that this week during the address to the joint address to Congress. Well, watch this when Trump talked about Marco Rubio. Watch this clip.
We have Marco Rubio in charge. Good luck, Marco. Now, we know who to blame if anything goes wrong. Now, Marco's been amazing, and he's going to do a great job. Think of it. He got 100 votes.
What do you think that interaction tells us about the dynamic between these two men?
I mean, I think it's exactly what this panel has been talking about, which is Trump is always wanting to put Marco in his place. He's always speaking down to him. He's honest. He seems like he's having a very good time belittling him on the national stage there. But I did think that report that Hayes referenced was interesting. I think it just came out yesterday in the New York Times that in a tense Oval Office meeting, Marco really expressed his frustrations with Elon Musk and just the chainsaw that he's taken to the federal government, including the State Department. I think the report said that Trump was watching them back and forth like a tennis match before he kind of interceded, but he let Marco air all of his grievances out. So I think that is a really interesting dynamic to follow, especially 2 days after Trump did that at the State of the Union. And I'll be interested to see how that changes in the next coming weeks.
Let me switch gears to another thing this developed this week, and that is Marco Rubio basically announcing the plans to use AI to go after foreign students and others who they suspect of supporting Hamas based on, I guess, going over their social media posts and basically just using AI to interpret whatever they think that means to be a supporter of a terrorist organization. But a very dangerous precedent here, and Marco Rubio is now the face of that.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's honestly, the fact that they are using what they're calling AI, whatever large language model they're using to scope through students' social media or however they're going to do this, to try to find people who are speaking in a way they don't like. It is such a clear and obvious First Amendment violation that it's hard to see how long that will last, especially if you can say, if any of these students who are affected by this can say, they may say that there was a reason behind it, but it was both in violation of my First Amendment rights and really arbitrary. Like the fact that they're trying to use AI models to search out who are the bad guys is a bad sign for all of us, to be frank. But I feel like it's both going to be ineffective and blow up in their face in terms of the legal battles they're going to have to go through once they actually say this person no longer can be in the country, can no longer go to school here. That, I feel like, is going to be a problem, especially if it turns out to be American citizens who they're looking for, who get pulled up during the State Department search and get passed on, their names get passed on to whatever version the Department of Education becomes in the future on the Trump administration.
The dangerous thing here, V, is the slippery slope that it sends us down, right, to Hayes' point, because you can be in a situation where, they're testing this out now on international students who some may argue don't necessarily have a First Amendment right if they're not American citizens, even if they are students here. But then you slowly begin to expand it. You say, hey, if we used AI on this case, then we can use it against other issues that we want to track and monitor, whether it's activists of Black Lives Matter or equality in this country or what have you. They can just deem anything a national security threat and unleash this AI force to police social media and freedom of speech.
I mean, I think it's dystopian. It's certainly authoritarian. And college is supposed to be the time where you learn how to push back on the boundaries of society, where you start to develop a sense of values and community with other people. So I think going after college protesters is, in particular, just another example of the way the Trump administration seeks to punish youth, seeks to punish exploration, seeks to punish people who are truly so young in their life that they're learning still. I mean, that's the whole point of being in college, right? Is to be able to have like a sheltered experience to try out the world a little bit first. I think it's very dangerous. And I don't see anywhere in here that he has said there will be some due process offered to these folks. There'll be some sort of way that they can appeal a decision if they were found to be pro-Hamas or that they were found to be deportable based on their social media. It's nonsense. And again, I think it seeks to punish the youth.
To bring it back to Marco Rubio here for a second, this week he was Doge, to be specific, / this organization that Marco Rubio once served on the board of, a pro-democracy group. And the workers there feel that he's basically betrayed them. Like, this is somebody who should know what we're about as an organization, and they should know what we do here. Right. And yet Rubio wasn't even able to stop Doge from slashing the group.
Yeah, I think Rubio was actually on the board of that group,
right,
which he really has a close connection to them. I mean, going back to the point about the students as well, though, this is something we have reported on a lot at Teen Vogue, especially, and also first-person reporting from these students who have been impacted at these universities. We've seen it here in New York at Columbia, as well as across the nation. But I think, I mean, has Rubio done anything at this point that shows he has any sort of power? I think he is completely a shadow secretary, or he is in the shadow of Secretary of State at this point. Yeah.
Do you want to predict whether he makes it 4 years or not? I mean, I know we're not in the business of predicting, but if you were to see what happened to Rex Tillerson, who was also at the time considered to be like one of the more, I guess I don't like to use this. I don't like to use that expression with Donald Trump, but it's just, so if it
seems extremely unlikely
that he'll finish 4 years.
Extremely unlikely.
But also, I would have to say your thoughts. Do you think he'll finish 4 years?
I don't think he'll finish 4 years. I don't know the circumstances in which he'll leave, but it will not be when he wants to, is my guess.
What about you, V?
Yeah, I don't think Marco is a quitter by any means. I think he'll certainly stay, perhaps even overstay his welcome there. There will be some sort of departure, potentially not his choice.
So I'm going to say this really quickly. I just look at Marco and being very politically craven. I mean, this was a man who was insulted by Donald Trump. As you said, V, he was called Little Marco, and yet he was willing to accept working for Donald Trump after all those insults. I think he'll probably find a way to stay for the 4 years because he just wants for his own political survival.